We're going to talk about things that nobody else will. Success leaves clues. And if you're going to make the same mistakes you made when you were a teenager, then you if you want to get good at something, you've got to sharpen your sword. We're going to smash this. A big, massive thank you to the sponsor of this episode of the Little Bricks podcast, HR Alchemy. Now then, lads.
How are we doing? All right?
All right, mate.
I'm very good, yeah. Hiya, Matt. Hiya, Nick.
Hi, good to see you.
Good. Those three talking in the kitchen again, eh?
I know. You were these moments in the past.
This has been the best one for me anyway, trust me.
Yeah, let's leave it in the kitchen, eh?
Yeah, good. So thanks for coming on to the Little Bricks podcast. We're very, very grateful. Nick and Matt are two really, really close friends of mine. Go back a long, long way. Exceptional DJs, brilliant people. Can you just tell us a little bit about your brand and what you do, guys?
Do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, so obviously, for those that don't know us, we're brothers. He's a little bit older than me. But yeah, so music-wise, mate, we've been kicking about the music industry for probably getting on
20 odd years.
Yeah, 20 years, there or thereabouts, mate. So we've been in the game a long time. Started out kind of on our own, didn't we? Nick was in the industry before me, obviously, doing gigs locally, and then I joined. I done a year in Ibiza, which was an experience which we'll probably talk about. And then we kind of got together and became like a duo.
Yep.
I think we realised that the time had come when we've been working together for some time to sort of like hit the next level. And that was all around working together in the studio. That really then became the focus alongside DJing, I think, didn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, we're quite experienced in what we do. We've gone into music production quite heavily now, which is it's rewarding, very rewarding. So it's we're about, Lee, and you know this yourself. We just like to see people have a good time.
You do.
We like to have a good time. And that's what it's all about for us. We don't take ourselves too seriously. And it's just about having a good time, mate. We just want to see people enjoy what we do.
Yeah, superb. And they definitely do, not just because the lads are my pals. They're fucking brilliant. They're absolutely fucking brilliant, whether it's in the house, at work, in the gym, in the car. The music is. I know Mousy O'Gara, local borough lad, successful businessman. He's plugging you constantly. And it's nice, the full town, massive, massive fans. So obviously I know you both very well. And it's such like most great duos, it's a bit of a zig and a zag. You've got Matt, who's the most level-headed person you'll ever meet in your life, a man of routine. And you've got Nick being the enigma that is Nicky Peverell. But together, as well as being brothers, you're just brilliant. A good crack, and you just work together brilliant with obviously your brand. Tell us a bit about your backstory, Nick, because obviously I know, because I played against you and watched you. You were a top level footballer, mate.
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate with the life I've lived so far. I've had a number of great careers, and obviously the first one on that journey was football. Playing at Middlesbrough and York and Hartlepool locally, and then spells abroad in China and Hong Kong and Singapore, and so I've had some really good times with that. Sometimes I can talk about them, sometimes I can't. It's a bit like DJing. So from that, in the early days when I was at Middlesbrough, I used to buy a lot of music, and I used to, I looked at avenues of how to play that music through friends. Just bought myself some decks and hammered the records, and our mum's house was bouncing all the time. Our dad used to come in from work. What's that noise? What's that noise? And it just sort of stemmed from there. And then fortunate enough to get in, I don't know, with a couple of people and end up playing in some really good gigs locally and some good residencies. And then alongside of that, I was football coach at Middlesbrough. My football career ended. I had a bit of a nasty injury. And I'll probably talk a little bit more how that felt when it went in a little while, but sort of like bounced along through different things, and then obviously again fell into music and decided I come to a point where I'd been at Middlesbrough coaching for about 6 years with the academy, had some real good success, and it decided I sort of fell out with love with the game of football. And it's the same things kept happening to the local lads, and it really disappointed me that people weren't getting opportunities within this club or within this area and were having to move away, which is how it's been. And I still feel like that's the case a lot with a lot of things now. There's a lot of good guys, good kids and good lads have gone elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm all about this area. I'm wanting to keep things in this area and then promote people in this area. I think that's part of our ethos together.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that, I mean, that's there's a few more things in that journey that'll probably come out during this episode.
Yeah.
But it's been very, very fortunate. I'm happy to be in the position I am.
Well, a couple of things stand out there, miss. Just first of all, humility, because you're being very humble, because you're a bit more than bobbed about for a bit. You were Barrow's all-time leading goal scorer. Is that right?
Yeah.
And Barrow, for a non-league club, is a sleeping giant. How many do they get per game?
Well, they've gone into league now, haven't they?
Oh, really brilliant.
It's close to 2,000.
2,000, brilliant, yeah. And they were getting that when you were playing?
Yeah.
Superb. What was that like playing there, Nick?
That was great. It was the good experience was because we had a good group of Middlesbrough lads that travelled across in the car, and we used to call it the Wenger bus on the way there and on the way back. You'll know some of them like yourself.
I do, yeah.
There was a lot of music in that vehicle on the way there and on the way back.
Yeah.
We had some good times there, and it was really sad that it came to an end with a nasty injury. So
yeah. So that was that, and obviously you went out to Hong Kong as well, Nick.
Yeah, Hong Kong. Yeah, 6 months in Hong Kong. Great experience. That was just like wow. That Hong Kong was just what is this sort of thing. The lifestyle that went with it, where we lived. Again, went out there with a group of lads which were from all over the country, to be honest with you, but we all travelled together and we got to know each other together. And then lived the life a little bit while I was there. It was good. Fortunately, that came to an end just pretty abruptly, really, just through the actual ways the team weren't well set up. It was a team that was specifically just set up for that year. The chairman who had a lot of money, wanted to promote this other club, got some English players in, did that. We were really good, but alongside what we'd brought, there was some quite young Chinese players that were maybe not up to the same standards, which was quite frustrating. But it was all about the experience and bringing them lads on. It was good.
Yeah, such is life, such is footballer. So I think a couple of things stand out there for me. Is the first one, gratitude, how grateful you both are for everything. It's a big part of what you do, isn't it, in life?
It is.
Yeah. No matter whether that might not be music relatedly or football, but it can be anything in life. You know what I mean? It's always good to show the gratitude for me, anyway.
Of course it is. Yeah, definitely agree.
And about that, Lee, sorry, in the music industry itself, and in football, there's an awful lot of jealousy and knock you and put you on a pedestal and throw stones at you, you know, and we just totally not like that. For us, it's about, like Matt says, about enjoying ourselves and seeing people having a good time. And if we can help somebody, if we can put somebody in the right path, any young producers, we try and help them out. We get lots of advice off people through how we start and what we do, and we try and do that. We try and promote that.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with you. Middlesbrough's a funny place, isn't it? Because the majority of people will really, really, really celebrate others' success and try and push people and pull them up and say, "Well done, we're proud of you, one of our own." Right. I think like any town or any community, whether it's football, music, or actually a city or a town or an estate, you get that small minority who just want to drag down and pull down. Have you lost friendships on your journey through music and stuff?
Yes.
I would say, not by obviously choice, but by that, you know, that what you just said there, people trying to pull you down. Nick mentioned jealousy. I think it is a minority. It does happen. You do have little cliques here and there, especially locally. You know, people just want to try and outdo you, or I don't know, they might undercut you for something. You know, it does happen. But I suppose we are fortunate. We do have a lot of friends in the not just locally, mate, around the country, abroad. We are actually, I would say, we are probably more successful abroad than we are here, which is crazy, isn't it? Because we have fans and followers on our SoundCloud, Spotify, all the social media sites, and the majority are from abroad.
Whereabouts, Matt? How far afield?
Last year, Spotify, we had the most listens in Russia.
Never.
Yeah. Russia, Italy, Poland, France. Crazy, mate. And this is just us doing our little thing here in Luminac.
Superb,
We have a group that we're involved in on a WhatsApp group. We have a number of groups, but all these guys are from all of these countries, from the places. So it's like a network and a community. So the phone's forever pinging about this and about that, and and it is about, again, not just locally. It's about helping people all over the place.
Always, definitely. You just put that much love and positivity out there and help people enjoy themselves, whether it's training, walking home, gym, nights out, whatever it may be. You just put that much energy and positivity out there. It's a boomerang. It's going to fucking come back, isn't it? And you just live your life. So obviously anyone knows, the lads, like any of the borough lads there, you just live your life, and it's a big part of what you do, isn't it? Just living for the moment and enjoying yourself and having fun. That a big ethos you live by, particularly you, this one, Nick. It's an ethos that you live by.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, life is about living. Let's get out there and enjoy it while you're here, and what you can do. And I like nothing more. We played in Manchester last week. Example, it was, and some of the guys didn't know that we were going to go. We off the cuff. Let's go and play. We got a call, and it was out one of our best friends' parties. So we turned up, rocked up. Beautiful place in Manchester on Salford Quays. It was a lovely bar, wasn't it? Yeah, absolutely booming, boom, 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 as you walk. And that's what I love. That's the energy I love. Yeah. So we could hear it round the corner, and as you get there, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it now. Yeah. As soon as he walked in, right, little bit of anxiety sets in. Who's there? What's happened? Right, okay, quick, let's have a drink. Goes to the bottom end of the bar, has a little drink, and then all of a sudden, bang, one of our mates from Manchester, what are you doing here? What are you doing? And that's how the night went. Yeah. And it was like, we went to see them and they seen us, and it was and then we were inside and we were outside and we were talking, and that's the bit. That's what we do it for. So
I get you.
Especially in the current climate, obviously what's going on, like we've missed that so much. And it was we done a local gig of a couple of months. It was about July time, down at Rosebery View. And when Nick walked in, I said he got emotional. Yeah. He got emotional because he seen people they were dancing again. They were having a good time. Everybody was pleased to see us, and that's what we missed. And it was just that moment where, like you said, it's a goosebumps moment, because that's why we do it.
Yeah, brilliant. I admire you.
Yeah, whether you're in the kitchen, whether you're in the front room, whether you're in a garden party, whether you're in a nice bar in Manchester, whether you're in a big club in Ibiza, honestly, that is the best feeling. And that's 100%. That's what I'm all about. That's my journey.
That walking into the feeling, then, Nick, when you walk in, you get goosebumps. You can see the passion on you. That feeling there, is that more? Is it similar to scoring goals?
It's exactly the same.
Is it?
It's. I would liken it to when we play. We've come up with a really good record and we put it on, and you've seen the people, and then. So you'll get that feeling when you're going into the club. Yes, I'm here. We're on what we're going to do. What we're going to play. Are we going to go with this track or that track? Yeah. And once you get in and you're in your full flow and you see people jumping up and down and you put something on, that's your own, what you've made, and then that's it. That's the rush. That's the little moment where he'll turn to me and give you the little fist bump, or sometimes he might give you the elbow to get out the way.
Yeah. Oh, nice to do it with your brother as well. Your brother and your best pal. It's a one-off story. It's lovely. It's so nice to watch and see and be close friends with. It's meant. So you started off on your journey. I think it was the Onion, Nick, where your first.
It was Blue Lounge, I suppose. Blue Lounge in Middlesbrough, which was a Tuesday night of all nights. Yeah. No one thought anything would happen on a Tuesday night in Middlesbrough. It used to be grab a granny night, didn't it? Rolling into the Blue Lounge, then went to Purple Onion.
Yeah, and that was electric at that time, wasn't it? Absolutely electric. Footballers, it was just red hot at that time. It was the place to be, right?
They queued on the block, didn't they? Used to queue on the block.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so the official capacity downstairs was 250.
Yeah.
And Saturday nights there was no police watching, but there should have been about 600 people downstairs.
Yeah.
That people wanted. The queue was right round the building.
Yeah. That energy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Absolutely.
They opened upstairs, so they went upstairs as a restaurant, wasn't it? Early doors. Yeah. So you had the sound was brilliant downstairs. Come up the stairs, and then we'd have somebody playing upstairs, whether it was me, Matt, John Gregory, or any one of the guys that was involved in the events. So it gave it an extra 200, 250 people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Officially,
yeah.
You know what you see? I speak to the lads in the office there, and you say, like Middlesbrough, that era, and then the era before that, when I just started going out 8, which is a long time ago, when you dispense these, the fresco, that little square, and people would go up to tall trees where they had a lot of top DJs. And then you're here in the Purple Onion. Middlesbrough was a top place, and what a fucking challenge for. It wouldn't be brilliant if we could get that going again in this town.
That's. I think that went alongside the football club.
Yeah, it did.
Music.
Yeah.
When Middlesbrough did well, the nightlife and everything off for the town, just supported that whole package. So it was, people go to the match, they'd stay out, and then they'd end up rolling into nightclubs. But you'd had it on a Friday, Saturday, you had Sunday, like I said, you had a Tuesday. Your Thursday night was pretty busy. So you're right, I'm desperate for those times to come back.
Yeah, definitely. I really agree with you. I totally agree. Little things for me. Little things like going out now, you see people, no disrespect, I spend half my life in Under Armour. Lads just going out in shorts and on Under Armour, I'm thinking, remember proper Saturday nights going out, putting a good shirt on, going out, you're going, we'd call it a nightclub, or you go to a club, you'd see your pals DJ, it was fucking electric, and the atmosphere was brilliant. It was good for the community. It was really good for the community. There was hardly any ever bother. It was brilliant.
You'd buy it, wouldn't you? You'd go and you'd plan your week by what you were going to do on the weekend.
Yeah. It definitely would. Even the routes, the bars that you'd go in where you'd meet people and you'd see the same faces. It was brilliant. A really special time, I think, especially we're getting to the European final, and it was just a brilliant time for Middlesbrough as a whole. So what famous DJs and which idols have you worked with then and got to meet and spend time with?
Cheers. To be honest, mate, idol-wise, we've got about 3 or 4 DJs who we followed for the majority of our careers. You've got Masters of Work, who are still kicking about now. You've got Dimitri from Paris, Joey Negro, he's got a different name now.
Dave
Lee.
Quite a jump.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest, I would say, sort of Roger Sanchez.
Yeah.
Our biggest achievement, actually, speaking of Roger Sanchez, was Roger Sanchez remixed one of our tracks.
Brilliant.
Back in 2015, 16. So we met him over in Amsterdam. We were at the Amsterdam Dance Event Festival. The label that signed the track hooked us up, and we met him, and he spoke about our track. He played it on we've got a video recording of him playing it in this club, Space Miami. So it doesn't get much better than that. And obviously he's still at the top of his game today.
Yeah.
So for that, I would say achievement-wise in our musical career, Roger Sanchez remixing one of your tracks is probably up there. Brilliant,
absolutely brilliant. Where have you played? Have you been all across the world? Whereabouts have you gone?
Previously, I played in Punta del Este, South America. That was one of the first big gigs that we did. That was come from playing with a guy, Marcelo, in the Purple Onion. Yeah. He took us there for 5 days, and that was an absolute carnival. It was just like 2 weeks of major parties that all the Argentinian people go to Punta del Este in Uruguay, and that was honestly, that was phenomenal. That was crazy. That was the first real big thing I did. Me and John Gregg played on the beach in this club. And he started at night and it finished in the morning, obviously, and the sun comes up and everything. And one of the stories was we had that much of a good time. We played at parties every single night. I actually took the needle off the record while it was playing and music went off. And that's like DJ, do not do. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of them moments. There was more people in the DJ box than there was on the beach. So that was a good place. We played in Nice. We played a big club in Nice, didn't we?
Yeah, which was
High in Nice. Matt was resident in Pasha in Ibiza. Plastic in Ibiza. Played in. Let's have a look. Played in another club. Yeah. Finland. Yeah, that was another one. So we literally have played in many places. That's also in itself is quite daunting when you go into somewhere where obviously they've just booked you to play their event, but their people might not know much about our music. So that element of self-promotion and that element of putting your music out there all the time, that's where you've got to really work at it and really stick at what you know and play the way you're facing. That's what we have to say, play the way you're facing. Like just same as football.
Same as football,
get yourself out there in the right channels.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we talk quite a lot on the podcast. We say about like sport and analogies, where from sport, irrelevant what level people get to. I think it's so relevant to life and to business. So much of sport is like transferable. You get out what you put in, play the way you're facing. So many simple little statements and ways of thinking. Would you agree with that, lads?
100%, mate. Yeah. I mean that we have a crack about it now. Play the way you're facing, but what we're getting at is you mentioned it, like in football, you play the way you're facing. You can't go wrong too much. So when we go into a club, and the Nice one, a funny story, mate. We were playing at a club in Nice in France. We got there on the day, had a bit of a drink on the beach and stuff. Hotel was really nice. Anyway, done ourselves up for the night, put our best gear on and all that. Got down to the club, and all you can hear is like just this like boom. So normally when it's a house track, it's like it's a 124, 125 BPM boom, and this one was just a lot slower than what we were used to. So the closer you got to the club, we were like, "Are we in the right place here?" We got into the club, mate, and the DJ before us was playing Bruno Mars. He walked in and just went, "Huh?"
Top R&B.
It was an R&B club, and we were ready to go on and play like our banging house music, and it was. Anyway, we went on. I think our first track was a Whitney Houston track or something, just to try and like get out in our hands. Yeah. So yeah, that was an experience.
How did it play out? Did you turn it around?
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. Always.
Got the video to prove it as well.
One of our best photographs we've ever got was from that club as well, from that night.
Yeah.
It was we turned it around, mate. Yeah.
The other thing was there was two girls dancing either side of us on two stages, which they didn't have very much on. And these two girls, when we put the first track on, just stopped dancing and looked at me. And I was looking at her anyway, to be honest with you. You probably thought, what, you were looking at you. And then once we got them dancing, then everything else just fitted in. So
brilliant, yeah, absolutely brilliant. So the Argentina one, Nick, can we go back to that? Was the Argentina you playing in, yeah?
It was Uruguay, Ponte de Leicester.
Uruguay, sorry, I apologise. When you see the football pictures of people going to the game, it's nothing like we ever see here. That's it's beyond insane, isn't it? Like how they are, it's like an obsession. Was the party atmosphere like that and the festivals like that as well?
Yeah, it was it? Honestly, I can only say the street where all the bars were was like a big up and down street. So we were playing the first night we got there, we played, and we were on a balcony on the street. So all you could literally see was like when you went to some party years ago, walking down the road, but everybody was just dancing. There was cars going down with music. It was just a full blown carnival. Yeah. And you can imagine we played up above a record shop. And it's funny. Another funny story was that people kept coming over and shaking my hand and shaking John Gregory's hand and can you have a look at this for us? And they were bringing us T-shirts from the record shops, and we were like. So anyway, I said to the guy that booked, I said, "What's going on here?" I said, like, and he said they think that you two were what was it?
Groove Armada.
John, quick, get this on your phone. Just get a picture of Groove Armada anyway. One was a little fat stubby one, which was the other one was quite tall, which was making it. They weren't too dissimilar, but I said, honestly, what we're going to do here? John said, roll with it. So we played for about 7 hours at this party. 7 hours. I said, draw the line. I said, do not, whatever you do, sign a record. Yeah. Anyway, come about 7:30 in the morning, I turned around like that. There's John signing someone's record. So I was like, oh no. So it was a fun time, proper time.
And what about Ibiza then, lads? Because Ibiza is the home of, so many amazing memories for people, but something got a bit out of there, and rightly so. People are older. You've had any good times over there, lads?
Oh, mate, yeah. Yeah, we probably haven't got long enough, Lee, but yeah. So Nick went over a couple of years before I initially went over. But as soon as you go there, if you're into music, and as soon as you go there, that is the place to be. I mean, you can start at 6 a.m, you can go right through till 6 the next day, just for party after party. So I initially went I think I went 2006 for a holiday, and then went 2007, 2008, and then I done a full summer 2009, 10, and 11. So I've done 3 stints out there. What a place, mate! And it was just a full-on experience. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I couldn't fill you in now on everything that was. But the people who've been to Ibiza know what it's all about. I think,
of course, yeah.
Like I said, the biggest club was Pasha.
Yeah.
played in there. Used to do a weekly party in there.
Mm.
I mean, when you go in there and you play, and you get a wristband that allows you to go in anywhere in the club. So once you finish your set, you then go into the main room, and you're in the DJ box with like the likes of Sanchez or Van Hilden, Todd Terry, and you just stood mixing with them people. Do you know what I mean?
Class.
And then it's, to be honest, I think we've been every year since 2009.
Brilliant.
Whether it's every year we've played out there. Obviously, the last 2 years have been difficult. We've not been able to go.
Yeah.
But we've just got so many friends, so many colleagues that we just love the place.
We've even, there's lots of people who've went to work in Ibiza through some of our contacts, going to work in bars, or even going for a DJ set, or even getting on guest lists. We have some really, really top friends out there that we don't want for anything when we go. So it's
nice.
I was fortunate because I used to just drop in and drop out and go for a couple of days and come back. So sometimes I was going for 3 times during the year, and then maybe the extra 4 times, and we sort of got into that way of thinking now, because that suits us better, really. Yeah. Obviously, you go to Ibiza, you have a couple of parties there, and you're out of it for a week, aren't you? You don't want to come back and go to work or anything, so that works better. So we try and, or we did before, obviously, this situation. We planned, and we had a number of gigs lined up to drop in and drop out, which is the way it works better now for everyone.
Yeah. Superb. And you got a lot of going out there as well, Ibiza. I've seen, and I know, being your friends, got a lot of famous fans as well. A lot of football lads attend your do's out there, company gigs and stuff like that. Can we name drop a few for people to listen to the type of people that are fans of Peverell, which you probably won't like, but I think it's important.
You won't be able to remember. Obviously, close mates with Stewie Downing, who loves his music as well. We got him kind of into it in the first. We taught him how to DJ. And then his little circle of friends within the game as well. Yeah. Like Ben Gibson.
Carragher, there was Carragher, wasn't there?
Jamie Carragher, yeah. Jamie Carragher, yeah.
That whole scene, we had Stewie's agent at the time and Jonathan Woodgate's agent at the time. There was a bloke called Stroom. So we met quite a lot of people through him without. I'm not really one for dropping names, to be honest.
I know you're not.
We've done an awful lot of private for people, and
definitely
the villa parties we've had have been really, really
superb.
Bad. Some of them villas are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And then people see you play music and they just want to talk to you, or that's that connection you make. And
definitely, yeah. See, that's it. I want. Go, you go first,
sorry, with there being 2 of us, it's all right because I'll do the talking and Matt'll do the playing and the DJ.
Yeah, but I think it's important, that bit there, because we were talking about social media, and in my humble opinion, as your friends, I'd love you to 10x everything you do and ramp it right up, and because a lot of people will name drop and will say we did this and did that, and it probably is. There a lot of people in your game probably better at social than the actual, product themselves, and how important has social media and promotion got within music?
That's isn't it? Yeah. Like we said before, social media at the minute that's the way you promote, or that's the way your manager will promote you. There's no other way, really. There's people out there, there's sometimes all they do is promote, and then when you see them, but it's just, that's just the way it is now.
We're the world now in every industry. It really is, yeah. And I think Gokwan was doing kitchen parties at one point last year. Thousands of followers. Was he good?
Who's that?
Gokwan was doing it, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. He still does it, yeah.
To be fair, he's one of the success stories throughout lockdown. You can't knock him. You can't knock him.
Of course not.
What I like about him is that he's followed by a lot of people, obviously, but his personality comes across through his music, and that is. So, people would have thought, Gokwan, what's he doing? He can't DJ, but you can see he's obviously a very, very talented DJ, and he plays the right music in the right way. He's got that platform to get out there.
Yeah, well, good for it. You know what? Anyone who does well, and I can testify to this from being good friends of yours, you celebrate anyone's success. I've never heard you say, he's fucking rubbish, how did he get that gig? You're always happy for people doing well, and that's a big part of who you are and why you're so popular, I think. So we're talking about like COVID over the past year, lads, because it affected you massively in a lot of ways, right? You couldn't do what you do, go out and earn a living, get your product out there. B, obviously there's a financial element of that as well, isn't it? Because it affected so many industries And did that affect the mental health? Because it did a lot of people, you know, not doing what you love. How was it for you?
I think firstly, mate, we couldn't even see each other, could we?
No.
We were the same, where we were through the window, or through the FaceTime or on the phone. So that going from probably seeing or definitely speaking every single day of the week to not, although we still phoned each other, it wasn't the same. So firstly, that affected us quite a bit, didn't it?
We had a residency that had been running for almost 12 years in Darlington. That just stopped, so that was our getting out there and putting our music out, booking our big artists, friends and DJs who we used to bring in from Defected or from various places that used to come into the area, which was another great thing. That just went bump. And I honestly really found that quite difficult, because I was week in, week out that I was there. And Matt used to come and do a monthly slot. We used to do it together then. But that was my thing. Once that stopped, what we had as a studio, which we had a studio set up, we didn't have the decks set up that way you'd go and see it in a club. So we had a studio set up, so we couldn't put our music out there. And lots of people did those sort of gigs on the live podcasts and the streams, which was great, which was fantastic to see. But for us personally, we just couldn't do it. We didn't have the equipment.
And we couldn't get together, could we?
No, so it was a major. That's besides all the health aspects and the effect it's had on other people's lives. It's probably a selfish way that we're looking at it, talking about it, but that's just how it's affected us.
Yeah,
we lost a couple of family members, and so it's God rest them. It's been. I mean, the other side of it for our children couldn't get together. We're a very close family. We're close off the DJ area, off the football pitch. We do spend a lot of time together. Matt's quite right. Just not having that contact with our own family, with our own children, really, really difficult, as it was for everybody.
Of course, yeah, it was, yeah. So with, what he's doing, obviously sports, because Matt was also a quality player, played non-league. I actually played with him as well. And you played at a very high level, Nick, very successful. And then the music as well, which you go in and the goosebumps, and it's very high. It's a lot of adrenaline. It's an energy. Has it been a challenge, or could it be a challenge to go from that to everyday life? Because you both, what a lot of people might not know, you work full-time jobs and you work very, very hard for your families to pay you. Very hard. Has that been a challenge, getting that level of balance, and how has that affected? Are you comfortable talking about mental health?
Yeah.
I think you just nailed it, mate. It's you'll go do a gig on a Saturday night. We've done gigs where we've travelled back at 6 a.m, drove back, played 4 till 6, drove back just to get home to see your family. But you have your family time on the Sunday, then you're back to work on the Monday. So by the time you pull yourself around midweek, you're doing it all again the following week. So it's mentally draining, it's physically draining, and I think there's times where we've both been affected by it.
Yeah,
I would say probably now we're getting a little bit older. I don't foresee us probably getting to that stage as much. Which is a good thing, we've both got young families as well. So, it can be, although, the things that people only will probably see on social media are the highs, them lows can be very difficult as well.
I suffered badly when I finished football. When I finished football, it was taken away from me with an injury. Stopped like that. It's what you're talking about. It's that same sort of feeling. You've got that immense high. You got the limelight, and then all of a sudden you're not. And you're back into your normal way. I think we've both got good coping strategies. We use each other. We use our family. You've got to have some sort of strategy in place for that. We often find the drive home. Lots of people say, "Oh, stay over." Sometimes we stay over, but the drive home, we often get a lot of it off our chest then, and then you're sort of ready to come home, unless it's not too far, obviously. But it's about having a coping strategy and using that coping strategy best you can, whichever way it might be.
Of course, yeah. Do you mind going into some of the lows? Like the lows for me, I went off the rails. You just know, I went on the drugs bad, and I lost the fucking plot many a time, and I had no real anchor. And I think a lot of it was stopping playing football because, I had that structure Friday nights in. It sounds stupid playing on league, but I stayed in Friday nights and I played the game. But it was that routine of going out on the Saturday night and seeing new lads out. It was just gone, and it was a struggle for me personally, just playing non-league. So some of my lows were hard. What lows did you have? Like, is there any ones where you go, like, I was struggling with this specifically?
Yeah, I've certainly had some really lows. I've had some hard times. Lifestyle gets out of hand. You know, like you say, like Matt says, you can be out a couple of days. You're going back, you get a shower, you go back out. You know, you can come back, and then you have got an extreme low. But yeah, I would say that there's more of them times in the past than there has been.
Of course there is, yeah. Yeah, of course.
I know what you're like, and you know what I'm like, and
yeah,
everybody who knows me knows I like to have a good time. But it's not just the time after the party. It's the bit where, you know, where through the week where you sort of like, well, what's happening here, or what we're going to get through there. Sometimes I haven't want to come out the house. Sometimes curtains have been shut, and then even on a weekend when I've had to go and do a gig in Darlington or somewhere, the residency, and then you're going out late at night and you think, oh God, how can I get myself around to doing it? And the anxiety part for me has become more and more apparent for me personally. So I do suffer with that quite a bit.
I think for me, probably been fortunate. I haven't suffered a lot. I don't, you know what I'm like. I know when to stop. I know when. I'm a bit of a clock watcher. If we've been out, we've done a gig, or we're at someone's house, I know that I need to go. I need to get back. I've got this on tomorrow. I've got, you know, the school run on the Monday. I'm at work on the Monday, so I can switch off. So I've been lucky in that respect. But I know for Nick, it was a good few years ago. I think he went. You know, he was in a bit of a relationship that wasn't great at the time, and that was it. I know he had a real tough time. You know, I'd phone him on a Tuesday, no answer. Phone him on a Wednesday, no answer. I'd go around, I'd knock on the door, curtains and move, and I just knew he was in a bad place. But I mean, luckily he come out of that. Yeah. You know, I think for the better, to be honest. I mean, it made him realise, you know, it's not all about that. It's about. He had a daughter at the time. He had other children, which he's had now, which I think they help.
Definitely.
You know, on a Sunday, you've got your kids there, and they just lift you. I don't know. You the same that one, aren't you?
100%. Well, you know what a lot of people won't know is with Nick. You know, he broke up with Lydia's mum, and then not living with your kids is a fucking horrible, horrendous thing to do. And any high the low gets multiplied when you're not going on with your kids. There's like a lack of purpose, and every man needs a purpose, right? It's hard because your mind goes over time. But Nick dragged me to the gym. He made me get fit, and it was brilliant with me. And he's offered me some brilliant advice and support and counsel over the years. And a lot of people won't say that side to Nick. He's very open about anything he's been through, and that's really a massive help when you see someone like Nick who's achieved so much in life, in music and football, and someone I've looked up to. It's good to have people to talk to. I think with you, Matt, you're a creature of habit, aren't you? Because I see you in the gym at 6 a.m, you're like a machine. You know how robotic you are. And I mean that the biggest compliment ever. How important is routine to you, Matt, to keep you right?
For me, routine is, if I miss a Monday morning at the gym or I miss a Tuesday morning, I'm like, I need to catch up. So for me, routine is like, it starts my week. If I do it, if I achieve the routine, I'm on target. That's what it helps with me. It does help with your mind. Yeah. Not just the gym, you know. It's everyday life. Going to work. If I don't go to work for a day, I feel like I'm out of my routine. Yeah. So it's all a little bit OCD maybe, but that's what helps me.
You're a bit OCD, mate. Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
Hey, really, yeah. So if you miss the gym session, does it affect your day?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah. If I don't go in the morning, I can't get into work first hour. I'm like, I can't really ask people coming in the office and talking to me, or it just starts the day.
We're funny, aren't we? And we get funnier the older we get as well. We get a bit more aware of it, I think, don't we? Like our funny little ways.
Tell me about it.
So that being said, things a lot of guys won't know this, right? Because I find it fascinating how he's managed to keep a level to go from that high. People coming up pitches, playing, having a full club on its feet, bouncing, people in Russia downloading your music, and then having to go to work for 6 o'clock on a Monday morning. Like, you still work full-time jobs and you work shutdown work as well, right? That's because a lot of people won't know the effort and the sacrifice that your partners, your family, and you guys make to actually put your product out there, don't you? Can you just give us like a bit, when you're on a full-time work, and you're producing music as well, how much sacrifice goes into that, lads? Because a lot of people won't say that.
Oh, there's a hell of a lot, isn't it? Hell of a lot. I mean, like I said, working Monday to Friday, sometimes Saturday, Sunday, going and do a gig. I remember Nick, we were on the same shutdown actually with work, and Nick was, so we were doing 10 hours Monday to Friday. Saturday was 8 hours, I think. But then Nick was going to work on the Saturday night to DJ 10 till 2, 10 till 3, then going back to work for 7 o'clock the Sunday morning and doing the 8-hour shift. And that was all, I mean, sacrifice. It's all, ultimately, it's all family, it's all money for the family, mate. But to get to get from up there, the high up there, back to down there, it's tough. It's tough.
I also think that, you know, we work with some good people, and, you know, they all know, everybody in Teesside who's worked with us, we both do the same job. We're both safety advisors off here. And we exactly the same in our safety work, that what we do at work is what we are anyway. And I think the good thing is you can't just switch it on for one for the other. You've got to be the same. It's about having that consistency with yourself and the way you come across to people. And like you said, hit the nail on the head. What you put out there is what you get back. It's the same when you're in safety. It's no good like talking to people and saying, "Oh, well," being honor people and being disrespectful of people, because that you're only going to get that back. It's the same in any industry you work in. You're going to have to put yourself out there, be yourself, and be considerate towards what people want, and you'll get back.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. The values are important. We talk about values a bit. Your family values are something that stands out. You guys, I know your parents, your sister, well, your cousins, brilliant family, really close family. What values important to you guys? You know about their respect. I know empathy is a big thing for you, Nick, putting out there, and you've always been there for me as a friend to listen. And what are the values you guys stand for as men?
Probably main, and we say this all the time, is respect. Respect is hugely important for us, because, you know, give out what you want to receive, or be treated like you would like to be treated is the one for me, because, you know, we go all over the place. We go into some crazy places, and you don't always get well respected at the time, but we give out the same amount of respect no matter where we are or who we're talking to. So for me, it's respect. Hard work is another one. You don't get anywhere without working hard, and that's by putting the hours in, putting the, you know, what people don't see, putting the hours in the studio upstairs or on your social media. It's hard work is also key.
I would add pride to that as well. I would say pride's a big one. Having a pride in what you do, letting people see how proud you are of what you are, of where you come from, having this area. And then when we go away and we talk to people, say, "Oh, I've seen someone from Middlesbrough. They were, oh, do you know what a lovely, hey, I tell you what, that area, you're all absolutely great, aren't you?" And that's
last week, didn't they?
Yeah, they said it exactly. "Oh, I was talking to someone all day from Middlesbrough. They know you, blah blah blah." You know, like, and that's the pride in this area, in ourselves, in what you do. Because I mean, it's absolutely fabulous to see all of our friends involved in what you're doing and what you're all about. It's you know, it's enlightening and it's inspiring to people. And this whole process of sitting here and talking to you is part of that process.
Definitely, I appreciate it, lads. So for those, you know, who might be new to Peverell, the brand, where can they find your music? Where can they follow? How can they get involved? And just give us a few. I know people will want to, because you're fucking, not just my pals, they're fucking brilliant. They're absolutely superb.
Jeez, mate. So Spotify, people can get us on Spotify. It's just to search Peverell, Peverell. You've got YouTube. Apple Music, YouTube, you've got SoundCloud, you've got Mixcloud, all of those, Beatport, where you can actually download our tracks, our individual tracks, Track Source, all of those sites I mentioned. It's just one search, Peverell. Type us in, you'll see us, we'll pop up, you'll see our two mugs on there, and you know, contact us on Facebook if you want any advice, information, if you want to know further where you can get our type of music, if you want to, you know, any of our downloads, just contact us. We're like Nick said earlier, we'll help anybody.
Yeah, you definitely will. And follow us you're on all platforms, social media, for those people that want to.
Platforms, Twitter, Instagram,
Twitter,
Snapchat. I'm not into Snapchat, but Snapchat.
Yeah, it's me on my own now.
That's me and you.
You're on Grant, I think.
Yeah, what's that?
It's a cereal.
Yeah.
All the usual social media platforms, like, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Good.
People are interested, drop us a message and we'll get back to you, no problem.
More social media, get your fucking name out there.
I know.
I want to keep on you all the time.
I could do with someone to do it for us, to be honest with you, Lee. Put someone in that business of yours.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
The next big gig that we've got in. We normally go to Amsterdam and do the Amsterdam Music Festival, which we've been doing for the last 5 years. That's cancelled now for us.
This year, yeah.
The event itself is still going ahead, but a lot of the clubs and a lot of the environment what you go for is not on. So we've got we're on at Loose Fest, which is with MK and Disciples. We're on there on the 9th of October. That's the next real big gig for us. So you can catch us there. I think, is this ticket still available, or is it a sellout that now?
Yeah, they've just released more tickets.
So that's 30,000 people. So that's a big event. So we're looking forward to that. Anything else gig-wise? No.
We've actually got a couple of private events coming up where people they've waited for a while, so people are just doing their own parties. So we're gonna help them out and do them.
Excellent. Good. Well, listen, I'm really grateful you've come on. I really enjoyed that. It was good. Something very different what we usually do on the Little Bricks podcast, because we had a good crack. But I think your values, your work ethic, how open you were, especially yourself, Nick, about mental health, that'll help a lot of people. And just two brilliant lads and a wonderful brand. And I'm very proud of you both. So thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us, mate.
Right. Thank you very much. God bless. And thank you very much for listening to the Little Bricks podcast with myself, Lee Flanagan, and Peverell, Nick, and Matt. Take care, guys. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.